Нашла. Ура!
Good afternoon and welcome to One Ice Arena for the second game of our Friday afternoon doubleheader, and it's Haifa taking on Holon in what's again a must-win for the Haifa Mariners. They pulled off the upset win against the Bat-Yam Dolphins yesterday, and they need to keep winning if they want to stay in the playoff race. My name is Ben Baruch, alongside my broadcast partner and Bat-Yam Dolphins player Noah Saunders. We've got a good game this afternoon between Holon and Haifa.
Ben, again, thank you so much for having me. Personally, I'm a lot more invested in this game than the last because there was a little-known guy on Haifa that I believe you might have mentioned once or twice before. Dare I say the best-looking guy on the team, Jacob Saunders, my little brother. People often say that, or most people say that a guy named 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗃, who is also gross at hockey, to maybe the best-looking guy out there, but my brother's truly a rocket on and off the ice. Newfound defensive pillar for the team, really helping them hold it down.
We'll talk about standings for a little bit. You see them on your screen. ＨC Tel Aviv picking up the win, their first regulation win of the season. That puts them 3 points behind the fourth playoff seed. That is occupied by the Bat-Yam Dolphins. They're not playing today. So next week, Tel Aviv a chance to move up the standings, but Haifa trying to pass Tel Aviv right back and take over that fifth seed and put a little pressure on the Dolphins.
Haifa is on the hot seat today. If they want to make playoffs, they need to win every single game.
If they lose, they will be eliminated, and we are underway. You mentioned Jacob Saunders scoring his first goal in Haifa's win last night. As they get the puck in deep, and David Greetson will take this one behind Max Goldberg. Comes into this game with a 5-3 record. Center ice, it's brought back in by Gross. Jeremy Gross. Back to the point for Siegel. Siegel a shot through traffic and it bounces high over the post. Igor Dolkart pinned to the wall, and then Daniel Mihlin turning with this one. He scored his first goal of the season last night against Netanya. Both these teams playing last night. Holon losing to Netanya by a final score of 6-4. That one's up in the protective netting.
I just want to talk about that quick turnaround right back from the Haifa zone back to Holon zone. Unlike Bat-Yam, Haifa's defense is strong. They have a small set of defense, but they know what they're doing. They will keep that puck out of their zone at all costs.
Looks like it's the same lineup for Haifa as we saw last night, including in goal. It's 𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗀 making another start for the Haifa Mariners. We saw their official goaltender, 𝗪𝗪 warming up, trying to test out that knee injury, but so far, no timetable for his return. Kept in the zone by 𝗪𝗪. He threw one towards the goal, was blocked away in front. 𝗵𝗫𝗄𝗃 goes hard into the wall, and 𝗵𝗫𝗄𝗃, who had a terrific game last night, trying to bring it in down the slide. It was punched away. Now Litvak will handle in his own zone, but he turned the puck over to 𝗵𝗫𝗄𝗃. 𝗵𝗫𝗄𝗃 in on goal. He shoots one and a save by Artur Zalavian.
That was a good-looking offensive rush by Holon, but you had Carson Weiner in the slot there. Personally, I'm a big fan of this player. Love his parents, love him. He's a great guy, great player, absolute speedster out on the ice. We'll see how he does it off the face-off here.
Carson Weiner, the 17-year-old out of Simi Valley, California. 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points with the Vernal Oilers, the Can-Am Junior Hockey League over in the United States. Seeing Eli Parasol actually getting back out onto the ice. He was dealing with an injury much of last week, making his IEHL return. Play both forward and defense for this team. There he is pinching up in the corner. Taken away by 𝗵𝗫𝗄𝗃. Now Dolkart trying to muscle this one out of the corner. Trying to pinch in for a second was Vinograd. He thought better of it. And now Kaplan starts the rush for Holon. Kaplan trying to drag around Saunders, but your brother did a good job of holding him up.
He's a wall. He's unstoppable. What a poke there by my brother.
That one fly.
I said it, I did not lie. Over and over again, he is proving to be a true defensive pillar of this team in the IEHL. Dare I say, a contender for the win if they are able to pull it out today.
That's really been their identity these past few games. We've mentioned at length the defensive prowess of Nathaniel Schwartz. They added Alex Litvak to their blue line last game, wearing number 2. You see him play the puck over there. Just an all-around strong defensive unit. They do a great job of transitioning the puck, and it's led to a couple wins for these Haifa Mariners. Beating Tel Aviv last week, and now it was another win last night coming against the Bat Yam Dolphins. A little more lineup changes to mention as Holon brings this one ahead. Holon is playing tonight without Charles Grecius. If you watched the game last night, you saw he got into a big tussle with the Levin brothers. He's banned 1 game for spearing. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. Shot by Bentov into the breadbasket of Göteborg.
So Ben, as you were saying about the defense of the Mariners, these guys aren't a strong school offensive team. They can keep up, but the strength of this team really has been lying in their defense, just shoring that up, and letting goals come. Goals were primarily coming from players like Jeremy Gross, but those aren't as reliable as people like 𝗵𝗃𝗏 or for Nikita Lukin on the Bat Yam Dolphins.
Haifa is the only team in the IEHL without any KHL or professional talent. Holon had Bill Bushbacher, who played in the ECHL. They have 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗎, who's actually not on the bench, I don't believe, for the Vipers today. 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗎, a veteran of the Continental Hockey League over in Russia. So Holon a little shorthanded tonight, trying to hold on to that 2nd seed in the playoffs. Jerusalem losing in the last game. But here's 𝗬𝗏𝗺 back the other way, trying to send one out in front. Good play by Kaplan to shut it down. Göteborg steers it behind the net. Up top for Vinograd. He drags and shoots, and it's patted aside. Here's Siegel going to get this one in the corner. He's tied up by Richie Hayward. Pimensky in there to try to dig it out. Comes back to Vinograd. He drags and shoots. Went off of Pimensky. The follow-up chance, looking for a tip from 𝗀𝗺. Went wide of the net. Kaplan into the boards by El Sharon, working 1-on-2. And he's going to win that battle. Siegel trying to spin it out in front for 𝗀𝗺. Deflected away by Weiner, and he's able to get the puck out of the defensive zone. Then 𝗬𝗎 trying to go up the middle of the ice. Backhands one over the red line, taken by Ori Siegel. Comes the other way for Jacob Horowitz. Couldn't handle that pass, and now Chris Blake the other way. Blake cuts to the outside. On his backhand, throws one in front for Stinchfield, and a good save by Zilavian. His first big test of the afternoon. 𝗏𝗏𝗺 in front for Blake, and he couldn't get it on goal. Disterman will curl back as his team completes a change. Disterman falls down. Schwartz helps him get the puck out. Maurice Sheriff will get it the length of the ice. Now it's Yegor 𝗏𝗏𝗺. Round to David Greeton. Schwartz bobbles it at the point and then comes back. Jacob Saunders. Tipped in by Maurice Sheriff. Handled by Yegor 𝗏𝗏𝗺 for Holon. Michlin left side. Cross ice to Stinchfield. Stinchfield drag, shot one off a leg. Blake trying to wheel one out in front, went off the back of the net. Zisterman trying to send it up the near boards, sent back in by Greeton. And now Michlin working hard against Schwartz. 15-year-old Daniel Michlin curls it back to the point. Greeton drags and shoots one into the glove of Artur Zilavian.
You know, with the exception of this Stinchfield-Blake line, Ben, I'm going to be honest, the rest of Holon is really just looking uncoordinated today. They're really feeling the effects of this like shortened roster today, of these injuries throughout. Meanwhile, Haifa again, they're picking up steam. They're playing their game, and it's showing.
Only 10 players on the bench tonight for Holon, as here's Ben 𝗎𝗎 trying to get a shot away. It was blocked in front by Litvak. Battle for it in the high slot. And it's Vinograd able to come away with it, and eventually comes to Golodnitsky on the near wall. Trying to get around Shiffrin. Golodnitsky wheels it down low for Bentov. Up top, the pass intended for Jeremy Gross. It was stolen away, and here comes 𝗵𝗫𝗁𝗀 for Holon, trying to send one out in front for 𝗵𝗫𝗁𝗀. Not fast enough to get to that pass's intended location. 𝗕𝗁𝗁 Hayward now ahead to 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗀. He'll get it deep and go off on a change. Look for Holon to keep their shift short tonight, playing with that short bench, as you mentioned, Noah. Here's 𝗵𝗁𝗀 to the outside. Here's 𝗵𝗁𝗀 cutting in, and a good pad save by 𝗂𝗏𝗃. And now 𝗵𝗁𝗀 went hard into the boards. He's a little slow to get up. The other way, it's 𝗬𝗏field. 𝗬𝗏field gets around Golenitzki. The drop pass for 𝗵𝗁. 𝗵𝗁 stops on a dime in the corner. Sends it back for Kaplan, and he bobbled it at the blue line. He has to come back into the neutral zone to get onside. 𝗵𝗁 trying to get away from Siegel. Go-kart up ahead to 𝗵𝗁. He's double teamed. They're still able to get the puck ahead to Kaplan. Kaplan normally playing defense, seeing him a bit on offense this afternoon as well. 𝗵𝗁 now trying to go back to the point with this one. Stops at the top of the circle. 𝗵𝗁 still with the puck. What a play by 𝗵𝗁. He shoots one off the pad of 𝗬𝗏. This one goes deep. 𝗺𝗏 gets it back to Saunders, and Haifa will try a breakout, but it's kept in by 𝗂𝗏𝗃. 𝗂𝗏𝗃 triple teamed, but he gets the puck back. 𝗂𝗏𝗃 spins one. He got hit from behind. 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗃 will battle for this one in the corner against Dennis Ryder. Good puck retrieval there by Carson Weiner. Gets it down low for 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗃. Up top for 𝗂𝗏𝗃. Couldn't get a stick on it and put it on goal. Kaplan now playing back at the point. Tried to feed one down low. It got blocked. And the other way comes Yael Sharon. Sharon to the outside. Dips behind the net. Sharon down low for Bondar. Schwartz calling for it in the slot. Gets it and shoots it wide. Schwartz again. Good strength out of the corner. He rides off 𝗂𝗏𝗃. Siegel able to punch it back towards the point, but no one there for the Mariners. Attempted clear off a skate, and it comes back into Holon ice.
Let me tell you, I just think this is a really good push from Haifa. And the fact that this is all a result of, again, their strong defensive play. If you were paying attention earlier, you would have seen them absolutely fold some of Holon's players like pieces of paper, and that led them to a bit of an accident, a power play, allowing for this offensive push.
That one's going to come all the way back down for an icing. Almost 2-on-1 there for Sawyer 𝗬𝗏field. We're going to have a look at it here on the replay, or actually we're going to take a look at the 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗃 chance, doing a really good job of getting to the outside and trying to go far side on Max 𝗂𝗏𝗃, able to hold his pad down and get the save. He remains scoreless with 6:19 to play here in the first period. 𝗬𝗏field wins it back to the point. David Breton throws one down low. 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗃 tripped and fell on his way to that puck. Haifa trying to exit. It was blocked down by 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗃. Zisterman keeps it alive, or Haifa trying to now get it out. Punches it over the blue line. Over the stick of 𝗬𝗏field that time, so Schwartz trying to shake off 𝗵𝗁. Bobbled the puck behind the net. Multiple players going down, but no penalty to be had. And here's Schwartz shaking and baking out of his own zone. Ahead to 𝗵𝗁𝗀. 𝗵𝗁𝗀 was dealing with a hand injury. We'll see how that affects him. He gets that one all the way around, but no one there to pick it up for the Mariners. Schwartz right back in for Haifa. Schwartz cuts to the middle. Schwartz shoots one off a leg and wide. Here's Blake the other way. Blake quickly over the blue line. Backhand shot away from Ryder and over the post. Hayward down low, got intercepted by Litvak and tries to go up the far side of the ice, kept in by 𝗵𝗁 momentarily. Litvak trolls again for Haifa, goes over the blue line. 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗃𝗃 Hayward trying to get a deep 𝗵𝗁𝗀𝗃, shot it back in, but off a player leaning over the Holon bench. That'll be a face-off.
Now, I just want to point out, we have 5 minutes left in the first, and we are still at 0-0. This game is a dead stalemate. Now, again, characters of Haifa, they have trouble putting this puck in. This is what we can expect from them. Holon, though, they should be scoring at this point. They're struggling a little bit.
Here's Daniel Michlin moving the other way for Holon, sends it ahead to Blake. Blake threw one to the goal, hoping Carson Weiner would catch up to it. Pass got ahead of him. Blake throws a hard hit on Ryder. 𝗪𝗏 wants a penalty. Looks like he got the shoulder and not the numbers, so we play on 5-a-side. Tie up for this one in the corner. 𝗀𝗏 comes in to answer on Chris Blake. Puck in the circle, taken by Itai Bento for Haifa, and he'll circle back behind the net to pick up speed. Here he comes. Bentov to the outside, drops it for Gross at the line, then back down low for Bentov. Staved off the hit from Kaplan, comes back to the point now for Ryder. He drives one through a maze of players and ends up on the glass. Golodnitsky to Gross. Gross curls back at the point, sends one down low for Golodnitsky. Then in an area where Bentov can get it. Now, play stopped as Daniel Golodnitsky went down to the ice, and there's going to be a penalty.
So I'm really looking forward to this power play. I would like to see some capitalization like last game. I really just want to see good classic penalty kills out of the Vipers. I want to see just strong zone control, passes to tape to tape, right to shots from the net from Haifa. I want to see 𝗧𝗏 just show that classic versatility that he's been showing, that offensive prowess. Let's see how they do.
This one comes around for 𝗀𝗏, and they try to get it ahead short-handed. Chris Blake trying to get ahead of the play, but Saunders back to break it up. Trying to go ahead with this one to Bondar, then onto the stick of Ori Siegel. Sharon now, the drop for Siegel. Siegel controls that one in his skates. Good stick handling by Sharon in tough corners. He puts Stinchfield on his back. Then Saunders has thought a shot through traffic.
What a shot.
Went high. Siegel around to 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 shoots and a save by Gochberg. Siegel turns away from 𝗀𝗏. Bondar in to help. Comes back to the point where 𝗧𝗏 will handle it. Siegel down low to Bondar. Couldn't really handle that one. It comes around to Saunders. Gets it in deep. Blake finishes his check on him. Now it comes out in front. Sharon trying to get over to Siegel, but 𝗀𝗏 there to pick it off. Now ahead to 𝗵𝗏𝗄. Puck flew off his stick. Haifa brings it back the other way with 50 seconds left on the power play, and there's a big hit by Yegor 𝗀𝗏 on Itai Bondar.
Making him look like a crumpled doll. That's what we're trying to see. Classic physical hockey without all the UFC auditions. That's what we love to see, isn't it right, Ben?
We're going to see a lot of Yegor 𝗀𝗏 tonight on defense for the Holon Vipers. As this one comes back to the point, it's controlled by Litvak. 23 seconds left on the power play. Litvak steps into that one, and it hit the side of the net. Litvak controls in the final 15 seconds now of the power play. And now a steal by Gross. Gross with Bentov cutting to the goal. Gross drags and shoots one. He was looking to go to the top corner, and he missed it high.
He really hates that glass. It made him angry the other day, apparently.
Here's Litvak. Dips behind the net, throws one in front. Golodnitsky on his backhand, and a save by Gochberg. Holon trying to move it quickly. Back came Bentov to break it up. Schifrin hard off the glass, or that was at least his intention, but ended up right in the Haifa bench.
You know, I gotta say, they used that power play well. They weren't able to put it in, but they made really good use of the defense. They had the control of the puck. They maintained it as well as they could. It just threw it up. Holon just was not playing their men. They should have had people up watching those defense. Else those shots would not have happened at all.
Our play has expired. We're back to 5-a-side. Dennis Ryder watched by Daniel Michlin. Two Haifa players get caught up in the neutral zone, but they're still able to bring it ahead. Here's Maor Sheriff getting hit hard by David Greeton. Greeton able to spin the puck the other way onto the stick of Daniel Michlin. Michlin, the drop for Greeton. He sends one towards the goal, blocked away by Vinograd. Trying to shoulder off Michlin, and move that puck out. 𝗏𝘁 goes hard into 𝗵𝘆. Battle for it on the sidewall, and that's going to be a penalty. 𝗬𝗏 getting into it with Ryder. Meanwhile, it comes out in front and they score! 𝗏𝘁 has opened the scoring this afternoon for Holon. It's 1-0.
From that beautiful looking tabletop to putting it in the net, this Blake 𝗏𝗏 line is a force to be reckoned with. Like I said, this is the coordinated line. These guys all know each other. They know what they're doing. That replay, just absolute nothing but net. They knew what they wanted, and they took it.
The only penalty was going to come against Haifa, even though 𝗏𝗏 was getting into it with, I believe that was Vinograd. The only penalty was going to come against Haifa, so that means it was a delayed penalty situation for the Holon Vipers after that tie-up near the far half wall. And Holon taking advantage. They have a 1-0 lead in the final minute of the first period. Here.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Based off that last play and the start of this face-off, I think this is going to be a bit of a rough game for both teams physically. They both got vendettas apparently, and they're going to get them out.
Holon going to work behind the net. It's taken by Daniel Golenitzky. Around to Bentov in the final 10 seconds of the first. Back it comes to the point. Schwartz handles it. Drags and shoots one off the stick of Amensky. Got it back, and there's another save by Max Goldberg. Holon clears their zone, and that will do it for period one. A late goal from 𝗏𝘁 has put the Holon Vipers up 1-0, heading to the first intermission. We'll be right back.
Tonight's IEHL broadcast is brought to you by 𝗵𝗃 FPV drone video, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗍's skate sharpening, Hockey Central Shop in Krefeld, Germany, Transport Regent, Canada's finest moving company for over 20 years, and 𝗨𝗏𝗃 photography store in Tel Aviv.
Welcome back to One Ice Arena right outside of Netanya for the second period between Haifa and Holon. We mentioned before the break, late goal by 𝗏𝘁 for Holon has given them a 1-0 lead, and 𝗏𝘁 now looking to add to it. He's ridden off hard by Nathaniel Schwartz, but in comes 𝗏𝗏. That play broken up by Saunders. That one shot back in on 𝗧𝗏, and he makes the save. Back to the point it comes. Yegor Dolkart touches it along for 𝗏𝘁. He shoots one through his screen and got blocked. 𝗏𝘁 again, turning this one with this one in the circle. It's away from Siegel. 𝗏𝘁 over to Loganov. He shoots one and it's blocker down. Comes back behind the net. 𝗧𝗏's down in the crease, and Bentov able to clear it out.
You can really just see this game picked up right where it left off at the end of the last period. Both teams are still mad and they really want it. You could just watch the beginning with Schwartz get into it on the boards. Oh, ABC Jacob. Okay, no, okay, they got it.
Here's Carson Weiner behind the net, working against Siegel. He'll send it around the boards. Blake thought about going after it. Saunders had the angle, so he'll try and get it out. Kept in the zone by Loginov and Blake. Blake heading to the bench. 𝗏𝗏 will handle in his own end. Floats a pass ahead for 𝗵𝗏𝗁sky, and that stick shattered. The other way comes 𝗪𝗏𝗁. The drop for 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 to his backhand, holding off the defenseman. He got it in on goal, and 𝗏𝗏𝗃 makes the save.
You know, I bet if 𝗧𝗏 didn't smoke so many darts, I bet he would have gotten that one in. But honestly, if I was Chris Blake in the corner there with Jacob, I wouldn't go after him either. Jacob would take him to town and back. Not a guy I'd want to mess with, even though I do on a daily basis.
Jacob Saunders on the bench for now. We've seen him paired with Nathaniel 𝗧𝗏 on D. Holding on to a 1-0 deficit early in the second period. Zisterman turning and shooting, a save by 𝗏𝗏𝗃, and then 𝗪𝗏𝗁 is taken down by Shiffrin. There's going to be a penalty. I think that's a necessary penalty for Shiffrin to take in that situation.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's at some point it's just risk versus reward. At this point, like the reward, it was worth it. The opportunity to pay off for keeping that puck out of the net. At this point, if you're good enough, your PK should be there as a team that you can hold off. You can hold off or even score on your own PK. You know, we've been seeing it over and over and over again.
Haifa going to work on the power play. It's Sergei Shiffrin in the box for 2 minutes. 𝗪𝗏𝗁 was wide open on the side of the goal, so Sheriff took him down to prevent an easy goal. Now Haifa needs to earn it on the power play. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 back to get this one behind his goal, as is 𝗬𝗏. Has to head to Gross. 5 goals this season already for Jeremy Gross. He walks to the outside with this one, goes behind the net. Gross up top to Ryder. Ryder gives to Gross. Breton watching him now. Carson Weiner comes out to play Gross at the top of the point. Ryder this way to 𝗏𝗏𝗃. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 throws one on goal, deflected, and a save by 𝗏𝗏𝗃 off the pad. But now it looks like there's another penalty coming as Artur Zalavian was rushing to the bench. Might have been behind the play. I certainly didn't see anything, but looks like...
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you are, but it looks like... What did we... There.
Still nobody else going to the penalty box. We're going to have an announcement from the referee. It's going to be a cross-checking penalty. Still only Sergei Shiffrin in the box. Now it's Michael 𝗵𝗁sky going off, and now a 5-on-3 power play for the Haifa Mariners. They've got 1:09 to work on it.
I was gonna say, Ben, the man-to-man coverage of Blake and Weiner in that one play was excellent. They covered those Ds so well, but let's see how they do with the 3-on-5.
Comes back to 𝗧𝗏, and it's actually going to be Max 𝗏𝗏𝗃 taking the penalty, the goaltender for Holon. Served by Michael 𝗵𝗁sky, but a 5-on-3 nonetheless. Here's Bentov to Gross. Over to 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 shoots one through his screen and went wide. Gross picks it up near his bench. Trying to turn away from 𝗵𝗁. He dropped it to Bentov. Bentov out over for 𝗏𝗏𝗃, and a save by 𝗏𝗏𝗃. And then Holon able to clear the zone. 𝗵𝗁 gets on his horse short-handed. Here comes 𝗵𝗁 in on goal. 𝗵𝗁 a shot, and it got blocked by Gross. Stick flew out of his hands, but great back check there by Jeremy Gross. Golenitzky the drop to 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Over to 𝗧𝗏, and he couldn't direct it on goal. Back to the point for Bentov. Gives to Gross. Gross out in front for 𝗧𝗏, and a save by 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Goes out in front, and there's another save by 𝗏𝗏𝗃, this time with the pad. 5-on-3 about to expire. Bentov waits in the circle. Stinchfield back out onto the ice. Gets it over, it's intercepted. Stinchfield behind the play. He's going to catch up to this puck. Zalavian there first, able to settle things down for Haifa.
You know, beautiful cherry pick from Stinchfield. It's a real shame that, again, tape passes, they matter. If you're not going to make them, you're going to get punished for it. And what do we see? We're right back in Holon's zone.
Here's Sharon turning with this one. The drop to 𝗧𝗏. Bobbles that puck, has to get it back at the point. 𝗧𝗏𝗺, watched by Blake. Drifts down with this one. Behind the net to 𝗏𝗺. Written off by 𝗏𝗁, able to hold possession though. Back to the point for 𝗏𝗏𝗺. Drives one on goal and it went wide. Blake, with 5 seconds left on the penalty kill, gets it down, and Holon dodges a bullet. A 5-on-3 power play, unsuccessful for the Haifa Mariners.
You know, Haifa, they had the control, but again, they don't have that finishing power that all these other teams have, and it shows. Their formations, passes, they're good, they're on point, but they're not enough to seal the deal.
Lead pass intended for 𝗂𝗂𝗍. He was trying to get behind 𝗕𝗏, and this one instead is going to become an icing.
We'll see how Holon performs when they're back at even strength. Hopefully they just maintain this momentum that they had for the penalty kill of just staying on their men, rushing out, playing the puck hard. And at this point, with them by the net, we'll see if they can take advantage of this position, of this offensive zone. We have 𝗂𝗏 out in center. What's going on at the circle? I don't know what's going on there. What do you think is going on, right?
Little confusion, I think, as to where the face-off was going to be. 𝗂𝗂𝗍 was behind that play, so the question is on what side of the ice were they going to put that face-off after the icing. Here's Kaplan back to get it for Holon. Up ahead to 𝗵𝗏𝗺, away from 𝗧𝗏 fresh off the bench. Now Saunders plays it ahead. He's hit by Carson Weiner after getting that puck down. Brought back by Pametsky. Ahead to 𝗵𝗏𝗺, pass ahead of him, icing waved off. 𝗧𝗏 trying to feed it ahead for 𝗂𝗂𝗍, picked off by Pametsky. In front for 𝗵𝗏𝗺 and a save by 𝗧𝗏.
Oh, Jacobs charging in there.
Here's Pametsky behind the goal. Trying to turn with this one, he finds Carson Weiner behind the net. 𝗵𝗏𝗺, bitten off by Saunders. Almost turned it over there to Weiner. Battle for it in the crease. It goes through it, and it's handled by Yael Sharon. Able to clear it out of the zone and then sent back in by Alon Kaplan. Now 𝗵𝗏𝗺 goes up the near side of the ice, trying to hit Jacob Horowitz with that pass. Comes to 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 curls on the goal line, tries to send one down low, battle for it in the slot, and it ends up behind the net. Horowitz back to the point for 𝗕𝗏. 𝗕𝗏 drifts in, it's stripped away by Blake, and he sends Michlin ahead. Puck is bobbling, able to settle it down, but he brings it in offside.
Oh, Holon is let down by Hayward. That was a tough offside. Rich, you are just ashamed to 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗃. Straight out of Concordia, you can tell the time at the rinks really been dulling him. Working the Zamboni instead of skating on the ice.
Poor Richie, didn't see that Daniel Michlin was bobbling that puck. Brought it in a little offside. Saw Richie taking that face-off. He's also playing a little bit of offense. Holon making do with a short bench. Normally plays defense for Concordia, and even here on the Holon Vipers, they bring it out. Here's Michlin. Michlin gets around Ryder, sends it across, and it goes wide off the shot by Sergei Shiffrin. This one comes ahead. 𝗧𝗏 will give chase against Chris Blake. Blake moving down the right wing. Cross ice feed ahead for 𝗏𝗁. 𝗏𝗁 will race after this one behind the net. Stick lift gets him the puck. Centers one out in front for Blake. Puck wouldn't land nicely on his stick. Loganov tried a shot there. It got blocked, and then 𝗏𝗁 coming out of the corner tries to push it back to the point. And now Haifa taking over. It's Golonitsky handing one ahead to Gross. Feeds one ahead for Bentov. He's in, he shoots, and he went high with it. Blake the other way. Fed ahead to Michlin. Now Ryder back in for Golonitsky. He'll dump it in. Gross will head right back in on the attack. But 𝗏𝗁 swoops in to take it away. Blake trying to move it ahead. He had Michlin cherry picking. Now it's brought back in, offside. A little bit of a late whistle there, but the right call nonetheless.
Yes, no, that was the right call. It was just so unfortunate for Haifa. They had the momentum going there. That nice chip off the boards into the zone. but we'll see if this reset helps either team out.
There you saw on the replay. You'll see it again. Probably the best chance of the game for Haifa to get it tied so far. 𝗵𝗀𝗃 just sent that one high onto the glass.
It's a classic example of why you need to look when you shoot, else it's going nowhere.
Here's 𝗬𝗏 behind the net. Turning with this one. Gives to 𝗵𝗀𝗃 out in front. 𝗵𝗏𝗁 couldn't tap it home. Was deflected away, I believe, by Nathaniel Schwartz. Kaplan. There's a stick on the ice. It's 𝗵𝗁𝗃's. Kaplan taken down, and now it's 𝗁𝗏 the other way for Haifa. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 with a good play to step right in front of him. He takes the puck for Holon. Able to settle it down and get it ahead to Kaplan. Kaplan crisscrosses in the neutral zone, finds 𝗏𝗏𝗃 at center ice, shakes away from Sharon, spins in the corner, hands off to 𝗵𝗏𝗁, couldn't get the one-timer on goal. Siegel trying to go up ahead for 𝗁𝗏𝗃, chips it to himself. 𝗁𝗏𝗃 out in front, and a save by Goldberg. I think that one went through his legs and wide. Now a battle for it, Stinchfield and 𝗁𝗏𝗃. With 𝗁𝗏𝗃 down on the ice, Stinchfield having words, and I think we're gonna have penalties after all this.
Someone really needs to tell Stinchfield that we are playing hockey. We are not wrestling or doing something like jiu-jitsu, which I personally myself am quite the fan of. It's not the UFC. We're here to play some hockey, not hold people down when they're just trying to get up and play the game.
Stinchfield, I believe, is upset because 𝗁𝗏𝗃 went hard into the goaltender Goldberg. But if you're Sawyer Stinchfield, who's actually leaving the penalty box right now, it's only going to be 𝗬𝗏𝗺 in the box.
Huh. Well, that's quite the development there. I really thought he was going to get the penalty. I wouldn't say that cross-checking people in the face when they're down is exactly legal, but, you know, I guess it is in the IEHL sometimes.
Stinchfield needs to be
𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃.
Stinchfield needs to be a little bit more careful with his team only dressing 10 players tonight. He's a real important cog on that offense. Losing him for 2 minutes would be detrimental. But now a power play coming up for the Holon Vipers with perhaps one of their best offensive talents, 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃, sitting in the penalty box. A little bit of confusion as to who Haifa wants on the penalty kill, but a little bit too late to make that change. I think 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃 wanted to get out there. They'll have to wait a little bit to make that change. Here's a chance off the face-off. It's blocked down and sent the length of the ice. See if Haifa's gonna make that change. So far, nothing yet. It's handled by Michlin in his own zone. Now a steal by center ice by Jeremy Gross. He'll wheel it in deep and force Sergei Shiffrin to go get it. Brought ahead by Daniel Michlin. Cuts to the outside with this one. It gets over the blue line. Michlin stops hard in the corner. Back to the point for 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃. Gets it over to Shiffrin. Shiffrin throws one back towards the goal, intercepted by Golodnitsky. Tries to send Jeremy Gross on his way. He hit that puck with a high stick, and he's gonna head to the bench. Shiffrin looks up ice, hits Blake with a pass, and leaves it for Yegor 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃. 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 spins away from Schwartz. Throws one out in front, collected by Ryder, and he'll clear the zone.
Holon is really taking notes on Jerusalem here for their power plays. I'm not going to lie. Their control in Haifa's zone is just not up to par. And that first rush by the player, the number, was good. He saw that he couldn't take the 1-on-4, got it back to his team and tried to maintain that outside puck control. But the rest of it, just not there, not enough. They're getting these rushes into the zone, but they're not capitalizing on it. So
Lund brings it back in. Loganov sends one on goal, kicked on by Carson Weiner, and it's patted aside. This one's sent all the way down and controlled by Goldberg.
It's just right back out.
Loganov with under 10 seconds left in the power play. Dropped it off for Weiner. Then back to the point for Greeton. He drives one on goal. It's blocked in front by a friendly teammate. And now brought ahead by Yael Sharon. 2-on-1. Sharon over. Ryder couldn't get it on goal. He threw it on, saved by 𝗁𝗏𝗃, sitting at the side of the net, and it hit the side. Sharon threw one on goal, blocked down by Loginov, ends up back in the corner. 𝗧𝗲 trying to get it out of the pile. Sharon for Haifa, gets it down low. 𝗵𝗺 chasing after David Greeton. Can't clear the zone though. Greeton throws it back towards the goal, bouncing in the high slot. It ends up in the corner. Saunders hit hard as he tried to get it down low. Puck collected by Blake, and he'll start a breakout. Saunders, the outlet pass for 𝗧𝗲, broken up by Blake and sent back in. Ryder now trying to clear the zone. He'll get this one all the way down. Greeton will get it before it becomes an icing. And Mifflin calling for it down the ice, hits him with a saucer pass, but puck was on edge, so couldn't settle it down. Now a steal. Blake brings it back in. Trying to work on 𝗧𝗲. 𝗧𝗲 won that battle, cleared the zone. This one's chopped down the ice by Alon Kaplan. Brought in by Mifflin, a 2-on-1. Mifflin sends it over to Blake, and he couldn't get a shot on. Eventually, Blake threw it to the side of the goal. Tie up in the corner. Brought out by 𝗪. Looks for a play. He has 𝗵𝗺 down ice. He'll just take it himself, though. 𝗵𝗺 with good speed and puck control, able to recollect this one in the corner. 𝗵𝗺 goes hard, and he's down on the ice. Only now able to get back up to his feet. Without a stick, though. But now a steal by Litvak. He shoots one and a save by 𝗁𝗏𝗃.
Okay, Ben, so I have a question for you. Do you think on that power play that Holon just had and wasted, do you think it's because their offense was not up to snuff, or do you think it was because Haifa's defense was just that much better for the penalty kill?
From what we saw up here, Holon was really just not getting those shots in on goal. Not really testing Artur Zulavian. Haven't had to say his name much in this hockey game. Golenitzky there shoots one into the glove of 𝗁𝗏𝗃. But really not much happening offensively for the Holon Vipers besides that goal in the first period.
That's really fair, especially with how pivotal Tel Aviv's goal was for them in the previous game. Haifa is just not seeing that chance, which is, I think, a really testament to Haifa's defense.
Rose controlling this one in the corner. Brought out of the pile by Shiffrin, trying to stay on his feet. Trying to hit Carson Weiner with a pass. This one goes all the way down, though, for an icing. Sergei Shiffrin, 39 years old, out of Netanya. Had 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points in 8 games with Holon last summer. Not much doing offensively from the stay-at-home defenseman this season. Of course, point total is a little bit different this season as opposed to last year. Much smaller ice surface. This year, the full-size Olympic arena here at One Ice makes it much harder for players to contribute offensively. Drive by Golenitzky off the face-off is gobbled up by Max 𝗁𝗏𝗃.
Oh, they want this bad. What we're seeing right now is this desperation, this underdog desperation for Haifa. This is why they're at least holding off Holon as much as they are. This is why we lost yesterday. They want this. They are coming together as a team. They have the chemistry, and they're making it work. They just need to get it in there.
Holon has already clinched their spot in the IEHL playoffs. For them, it's just a matter of seeding. On the other side, Haifa is playing for their playoff lives. Another loss will eliminate them from competition come Friday of next week. Here is Bentov. Can't get around Yegor Dolkart. That's been a common theme in this game. Blake brings it back the other way. Blake to the backhand, sends one across for Mifflin, and he couldn't get it on goal. Saucer pass a little bit too hot to handle. Siegel, broken up by Loginov. Bentov will bring it in, curls it back for Siegel. He'll send it along the boards and down low for Bentov. 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗏𝗆 to Gross out in front looking for Siegel. Couldn't get that pass to his stick. Now Schwartz throws one from the point, it went wide. Throws back down low for Bentov, intercepted by 𝗏𝗏𝗏 on his backhand. He finds Blake, and he'll clear the zone. Schwartz under pressure from Weiner to move this puck. Litvak had to get off the bench quickly. Onto the bench. Siegel a shot, and saved by 𝗏𝗏𝗏.
This last few minutes, Ben, Haifa has just been dominating. I don't know what happened to Holon, but they need to turn it around in the next period, or else they're going to start losing this lead real fast. I just want you to see the coordination coming out of them. It can't just be the Stinchfield-Blake line. The rest of the team needs to start pulling together, and everyone needs to start just getting pucks on net and coordinating their offensive pushes.
24 seconds left here in the second period. Was just informed that we will not have any ice resurfacing between the second and third periods, so we'll have a quick 1-minute break. In about 10 seconds, Holon, barring anything crazy in the final 7 seconds of this period, will walk away with a 1-0 lead heading to the third period. There's the whistle, and that means we'll take a quick break here on the Israel National Hockey Society YouTube channel. We'll be right back for the third period between Holon and Haifa right after this.
Tonight's IEHL broadcast is brought to you by 𝗵𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗺 drone video, 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗵𝗺 skate sharpening, Hockey Central shop in Krefeld, Germany, Transport Regent, Canada's finest moving company for over 20 years, and 𝗨𝗏𝗃 photography store in Tel Aviv.
Welcome back to welcome back to One Ice Arena for the third period between Haifa and Holon. As we mentioned before the break, Holon holding on to that 1-0 lead, but they're playing with an extremely short bench tonight, and Haifa's been buzzing all night long.
Holon just has such a thin margin of error here, even smaller than their bench. We got Saunders and Schwartz on defense here. Holon's not putting anything in anytime soon. And off to the races.
Here's Schwartz backhanding one out to start this third period. Puck hopping and skipping down behind Max 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but it's brought back the other way by Michael Pamensky. Something to watch in this third period is a chippy ice. No Zamboni since before warm-ups. Bondar finishes his hit on David Greeton. Pamensky trying to bring it the other way, but it was sent back in by Haifa, but there's going to be an icing.
You know, Schwartz had a really nice pass there. You know, we love to see tape to tape, but it's got to be to your teammates' tape, you know? Can't just be passing the team like that. It's not going to do you any good. Especially now as we see the icing, bring it all the way back in the Haifa zone. We're going to have to break it out real quick. They got 1 period left if they want to tie up this game and possibly even win it, if they want to stay in the running for these playoffs. Let's see how it goes.
Face-off between Carson Weiner and Ori Siegel, won by Weiner for the Vipers. It's brought back by Bondar. Bondar gallops into the zone, sends one out in front, intended for Sharon. Pass missed him. 𝗬𝗏 trying to send one the other way. Intercepted at center ice by 𝗓𝗏𝗁. Strong work on Carson Weiner to the outside with this one. Center went out in front for 𝗏𝗏. Now a backhander by Sharon goes wide. Siegel throws one back on goal. Pad saved by Goldberg. Kaplan turns away with this one. Almost intercepted by Ori Siegel. Holon will regroup on the near side of the ice and make some changes. 𝗏𝗏 steps out on the ice and sends it ahead to 𝗵𝗏𝗻. 𝗵𝗏𝗻 faked the drive, gave to 𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 with Hayward calling it at the point. He'll eventually skate into this puck and send it all the way around the boards. That puck gets on its side. It could ride the boards for a while here at One Ice. 𝗏𝗏 sends one in front for Blake. A backhand chance is stopped by Zolovian. 𝗏𝗏 again with it behind the net. Has Schifrin out in front. He's pinned to the wall by Vinograd. Vinograd trying to take the puck. Back came 𝗏𝗏 to punch it deep. Mower Sheriff bailed on that breakout attempt. 𝗵𝗏𝗻 turning away from Ryder. In front for Blake, and he couldn't get it on goal. Tie up. Far wall dug out by 𝗏𝗏 again. Terrific ship for Jaeger. 𝗏𝗏 comes back to the point for Hayward. He shoots, a save by Zolovian. Sitting in the crease, it comes free, and then Vinograd will skate to safety behind the net. Haifa is having trouble getting this puck out of the zone. They finally do, but Hayward bringing it back in. Here's Hayward, a shot blockered wide. On it now is Vinograd. Tries to right off Chris Blake. They punch it out of the pile, and now it's Horowitz getting it ahead for Zisterman. 𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Oh, right on
confusion. Confusion on the benches. Here's Beethoven with a shot and a save by Goldberg, and the puck sticks to him. A lot of confusion off that change from Holon, and Haifa able to take advantage.
Yes, absolutely. I will say, this comes off of, honestly, was probably Holon's best coordinated offensive push this game so far. They were really holding the puck together in the zone, in the Haifa zone, for an extended period of time, but they just lost it. It fell apart as quick as it came together. There was a nice rush by Hayward. Couldn't tell whether he was just feeling himself or he didn't know how to stop, but it was looking great.
Seemed like failed breakout after failed breakout for the Mariners, and just couldn't get the puck out of the zone, eventually getting a good chance on the stick of Vitaly Bentov. Here he is in the circle. Bentov ridden off by 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Comes into center ice where Saunders will poke it away from trouble. Gross has to pull it back into the neutral zone to avoid an offside. He sends 𝗵𝗏𝗁 down onto the ice, and Haifa able to regroup in their own zone. Lead pass for Gross. Swivels away from 𝗵𝗏𝗁, but it's picked up by Carson Weiner. Weiner flying through center ice, cuts to the outside. He's ridden off by Litvak. Weiner around to Michlin. Back to the point for Loganov. Sends it over to Kaplan. He shoots one through his screen. It got blocked down in front by Litvak. Now Gross gets it over the blue line, and Litvak will get it the rest of the way. Bentov in, shoots. It got blocked up high. Litvak pinching in on offense. Has it in the corner. He'll send it down low for Gross. Gross trying to go out in front with it. Was broken up and cleared the length of the ice by the Vipers. This one is not going to reach the red line, so no icing. Schwartz needs to bring it 200 feet. Schwartz can't get around Michlin. Michlin brings it down the left side. He shoots one into the glove of Artur Zolovian.
Haifa finally getting some use out of their goalie. Whether they want to get the use out of him or not, because they probably shouldn't get their shots on, the goalie is showing that he came here to play. It is, again, unfortunate that 𝗪𝗏𝗁 cannot be in that tonight, this afternoon, but at least they have an equally as talented goalie, if not more, to pick up the slack.
𝗪𝗏𝗁 in the defenseman.
It's a rare thing when a defense tries to come out of the zone like that, and they just cannot get around the guy when the ice is wide open, you know, Ben? So it was just real bad that Blake was able to get Schwartz like that for Haifa.
Here's Nathaniel Schwartz moving with this one. Teammates with 𝗪𝗏𝗁 as here's Michlin shooting, and a save by Zolovian. Both 𝗪𝗏𝗁 and Nathaniel Schwartz played for Kent State over in the United States. as 𝗵𝗆plan brings it back in for Holon. 𝗵𝗆plan trying to get around, I believe that's 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗺. One's broken up and brought ahead, at least momentarily, by Sharon. Hayward back on it, to the backhand, sends one out in front. 𝗵𝗆plan didn't see the puck coming. 𝗵𝗆plan again, can't step around 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗺, but now it's turned over in the slot. Michlin can't get a shot away. Schwartz with a good play on defense, able to angle that one off the boards and all the way down. Sharon goes hard against Shiffrin. Sent back towards the point. Puck is rolling. Michlin able to settle it down just enough to find 𝗏𝗏 cutting through center ice. Good play by Vinograd at his own blue line to break it up. Michlin able to step around at check, but Siegel ended up getting the best of him. Michlin
getting a little physical, hot and heavy out there. Hopefully it doesn't devolve into a fight.
Here's Blake, a shot and a kick saved by 𝗬𝗏. Hayward, another chance, went wide. Now it's 𝗏𝗏. Throws one out in front, went through everybody. Hayward curls in the corner. Back to the point for Shiffrin. Shiffrin turns it over. Here comes Vinograd flying out of his own zone, has Gross along for the right. Tried to hit him with a pass, broken up by Shiffrin. Golodnitsky to follow it up, and he launched it wide.
I bet this is a classic example of why when you're in a rush like that, sometimes you just need to shoot. Whether or not it's going to go in, you just have to put the puck on the net. Or else it's going to go right back out, like we almost just saw there.
Here's Greetson having trouble with it. Golodnitsky able to keep it deep. Tie up in one of the face-off circles, but it's brought the other way by Igor 𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 smoothly into the slot and a save by 𝗬𝗏. Didn't see it coming, and he's able to sweep that one to the near wall. Here's David Greetson. Back for Loganov. Throws one over to Vamensky. Brings it in on side. Chopped away by Saunders. He lost his stick in the process. And now Golodnitsky will backtrack for the Mariners. About 8 minutes to play in the third period. Holon holding on to a 1-0 advantage. Here's 𝗬𝗏. 𝗏 angles one off the wall, intended for Dennis Ryder. Was blocked by the referee, but now Golodnitsky brings it in. Golodnitsky's trying to center one out in front. The follow-up chance by 𝗏 went high over the goal. Ryder throws one across the ice. Chopping at it is Eli Parasol. Turns it over at center ice to Ben-Isri. Drop for Pimensky. Here he comes alone into the zone. He shoots one off the pad of Artur 𝗬𝗏. Now it's turned over again. Pimensky trying to go to work. That's Litvak turning it over. Pimensky threw it out through the slot. No one there to take it. Now Hayward getting it back to the near corner. Michlin shoots one on goal. Pad save. Rebound chance for 𝗵𝗆plan. He couldn't throw it on. Back down low for Ben-Isri. Ben-Isri out in front looking for Michlin. And the pass was broken up. The other way comes Haifa 3-on-2. Zisterman cuts to the outside. Trying to feed one out in front. It was broken up by Hayward.
Someone needs to go back to practice because that 3-on-2 was not executed properly at all.
There's a shot and a save by Artur 𝗬𝗏, and now Haifa 6 minutes and 48 seconds away from their second shutout loss of the season. Jerusalem had beaten them 5-0 earlier in the season. There you see some frustration from Maoris Sheriff on the bench.
It's this lack of finishing power. They just need grindy goals. No one's gonna just come in and break away, dangle the goalie. These guys, they're a junky team, they're a defensive team. They need to get in there and just keep shooting.
Blake tried a shot. He had the whole near side of the net to shoot at, and he missed it. Here's Blake tying up in the corner, and you mentioned that finishing power and gritty goals. That's probably gonna be how Haifa's gonna have to do it with this chippy ice as well. But here's Bondar. He could skate, and he has good hands. Tries to feed Siegel with a pass. Saw those two connect last night for a beautiful goal. Here's Bondar trying to feed one out in front for Sharon. It got broken up. Now it comes back to the point. Schwartz, fake the drive, now sends one on goal, and it's patted aside by Goldberg, but a penalty behind the play. it looks like it's going to be Carson Weiner going off for a hook and a power play coming up for the Mariners.
Absolute demon. Carson Weiner may have just consigned his team to a tie. We need to see if Haifa can capitalize on this. But this is not a well-timed penalty for the Vipers, I gotta say. On the defense up top for the power play, we got Saunders, Schwartz. We know Schwartz is lethal. We have Gross out there. Gross has been one of the top goal scorers for the Haifa. As we've seen just the other day, he ran around Max Reeve, made him look like a fool. So we'll see if they can capitalize on this opportunity. They need it if they want to move on to the playoffs.
Haifa, as we mentioned many times in this broadcast already, playing for their playoff lives and a terrific chance to get this game tied. Schwartz a drive, and it gets blocked up and into the protective netting.
It's not quite a goal, but it is a home run. If you ask me, they can run all the bases off that one because it is out of here. Infinitely more entertaining too than a baseball game, I might add. Don't even need food to get through this one.
Face-off controlled by the Vipers, and Hayward gets it cleared. 𝗬𝗏𝗺 directing traffic. Comes onto the stick of 𝗵𝗃𝗏. Schwartz sends his man down to the ice, away from the play. That's gonna be a penalty.
That was a monstrous hit by Schwartz, who I would dare say after that one, call him a Kent State killer. That was a really tough call to make, even though it looked really nice. I would say I'd save that one, put that on my dating profile, a nice little clip there. Wouldn't you agree, Ben?
It's an interesting call to make. Schwartz was hit by Hayward, so his momentum drove him into the Holon player, but a little bit too much force for the referee's liking, so that will negate the power play.
It's sort of like the last game with Spivak, the accidental collision that ended up just going awry, you know what I mean? Just a really unfortunate penalty to get.
Especially at this stage.
Only 23 seconds into the power play, too.
Face-off will come deep in the Haifa end of the ice. Mariners control. Saunders trying to get one ahead for Bondar. It was sent back in by Loganov, but now Ryder able to move it ahead. Loganov bats that one out of the air. Blake trying to bring it back in. Can't get around Ryder though. Saunders on his backhand, can't clear. Saunders again behind the net. Sends it ahead for Siegel. It's kept in by Dolkart. Blake drags and shoots. Save is made. Sitting in the crease, a backhand chance is stopped by 𝗬𝗏𝗺.
We got what appears to be a cross-check penalty on the demon himself, the best-looking guy on Haifa, Jacob Saunders. I'm real disappointed in him as a brotherly figure, but you know, hopefully, especially with the two key defensemen in my eyes from Haifa in the box, this does not look good, especially when Holon seems to be dominating the play as much as they are. So it looks like to me, are they calling a timeout, Ben, do you think?
Yes, it looks like there will be a timeout for the Haifa Mariners. Now going down on a 4-on-3 penalty, and while we have a chance, we'll mention the remaining schedule for the Mariners. They will play Tel Aviv on Sunday, followed by Jerusalem on Tuesday, and that's the rest of the schedule for the Haifa Mariners. They came into this game with 5 points. A loss today would bring their maximum point total to 11. So while they're playing for their playoff lives, and a loss here would be very detrimental, there is still a slight chance they make it, assuming Bat-Yam collects no more wins this season.
As a Bat-Yam guy myself, I can't say the possibility is not, it's a non-zero chance that we completely flub it. You know what I mean? As a guy who's on the bench, I'd say we're doing a great job of fighting each other more than the other teams. When we really got to be directing that aggression outwards, like Holon and Haifa have been doing such a good job of doing this game. Just really going at each other. So we'll see if Haifa can fend off this disadvantage to come back and take it, tie it up for the win.
They could get it tied and get at least 1 point out of this one. It'll put them at least a win's worth of points out of the 4th playoff spot in the IEHL standings. They need a goal though. Sinchfield brings it in on the 4-on-3. Sinchfield drags to the outside, down low for 𝗵𝗀𝗄. Stopping and starting on 𝗵𝗀𝗄. 𝗵𝗀𝗄 to the goal, and it bounces through the crease. Rushing to pick this one up is 𝗵𝗀𝗄. He has 𝗵𝗀𝗃 along for the ride. 𝗵𝗀𝗄 in front for 𝗵𝗀𝗃, and he couldn't get it on goal. He goes hard into the boards.
How'd he go?
𝗵𝗀𝗃 picks it up, trying to center it in front, and he scores! A short-handed goal for Alex 𝗵𝗃𝗃. His first in a Haifa uniform. They get it tied. It's 1-1.
These disadvantaged goals are the best goals to see, and we've been having so many of them. These are the ones that make or break all of these games. All Haifa needs to do is survive this penalty kill, and they can take it to a shootout. Or if they can capitalize this momentum, they can take it, pop one more in, and they've got this game. We have 4 minutes left of the period. That's more than enough time to get more goals for either team. It's only going to get more desperate from here on out. We'll see how Haifa continues to play under the disadvantage.
It's still a 4-on-3 power play for Holon. Carson Weiner is going to be the first player out of the box. So it will actually be a 5-on-3 power play for Holon.
Going to be a next rough 23 seconds. And you know, I want to be honest. I wonder if the goal wasn't enough for Jacob yesterday. He's like, he wanted more stats on the board, so that's why I got the penalty. You know, a bit selfish of him, I got to say, but you know, whatever works.
Goals,
Let's see
assists,
how
points.
We do in this 23-second 5-on-3.
Goals, assists, points, and penalty minutes all count for stats at the end of the day. As Carson Weiner about to step out on the box, and it's a 5-on-3 power play for the Vipers for another 18 seconds. That one off the skate of Kaplan. And they'll start ahead. Here's Alone Kaplan bringing it in. 5 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Kaplan on his back and cuts to the goal, saved by 𝗬𝗏𝗺. Holds the puck on his pad, and he'll get the whistle.
And with that, Haifa has at least survived the 5-on-3. Just 37 more seconds of penalty kill left, and until they are back to even play and have a good shot at securing the win, getting one more goal in. Currently, they're making good use of their substitute goalie, who's really making a name for himself here. Really helping keep him in the game, really contributing to the effort. Back to you, Ben, for the game.
Thank you, Noah. We also, Haifa has Nathaniel Schwartz back out on the ice. You see him clearing that puck ahead for Golodnitsky. Here he comes into the offensive zone. Schwartz will be a big factor the rest of the way. Here's Golodnitsky cutting to the goal, and a save by 𝗏𝗏𝗺, and he falls down on the puck and gets the whistle.
You know, I feel like everyone would just play better if it was just a 4-on-4, because apparently they can't put goals in when they actually have full strength. Apparently they just don't know how to really pull it together when conditions are optimal. I don't get it. Do you? It's strange. People are weird.
If I had the answer for that, I'd be making a lot more money than I am now.
Fair enough. Why I'm still in school, that's for sure.
Face-off controlled by Holon, and it's brought ahead by 𝗵𝗀𝗃. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 double-teamed at the blue line. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 wants a penalty as Schwartz has his stick caught up in 𝗵𝗃𝗃's waist. Now Golodnitsky kicks this one ahead. Saunders out of the box, and we're back to 5-a-side. This one's up the right wing for Chris Blake. Chopped ahead by Schwartz, back towards Gross and all the way down. Icing is waved off, so 𝗏𝗏𝗃 will play it. Hayward got it to 𝗏𝗏𝗃 just in time. Gross applying the pressure. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 will launch this one all the way down. Icing waved off as the referee says Vinograd got a piece of it. Vinograd finds Gross, but Siegel on the second pass, couldn't handle it. Brought back in by 𝗏𝗏. He sidesteps a hit from 𝗧𝗏. Haifa able to get the puck back into neutral of ice. 𝗵𝗫𝗀 now over the line. He's hit hard by Sharon. 𝗏𝗏 now to the outside, spins away from Vinograd. 𝗵𝗫𝗀 has to go all the way in the corner to get his stick. 𝗏𝗏 trying to bring it up with a man back for Holon. Here's Vinograd. The drop for Sharon. Taken away by 𝗵𝗫𝗀𝗀 and then brought ahead by 𝗵𝗀𝗀. 𝗵𝗀𝗀 goes wide against 𝗂𝗂𝗍. He goes into the boards, does it. Daniel 𝗵𝗀𝗀 comes behind the net where it's controlled by Ryder. Shiffrin can't hold the point, and here comes Bondar. Bondar has Shiffrin back. Bondar stops, sends one out in front, and Shiffrin able to clear the crease. Brought back ahead by Carson Weiner for Holon as we approach 1 minute to play in the third period. Carson Weiner behind the goal. Drops for 𝗵𝗫𝗀𝗀. Back to the point for Blake. He shoots one through his screen, it got blocked down. Can't be sent out though. Shiffrin a drive, and it goes high over the post. Weiner on his backhand, spins it back down low. Ryder can't clear. Blake trying to go back to the point. It was deflected away by Golonitsky and all the way down. Haifa will make another change. 40 seconds left here in the third period. Gryton hard off the wall, but not out. Gross sends it back down low for Golonitsky, has Sheriff parked in front of the net. Golonitsky trying to tie up in the corner, brought out by Igor 𝗏𝗏 for Holon. Right side, Ben Isri, he shoots one wide. 𝗏𝗏 on it with 20 seconds. Spins away from a check. But now Ryder falling down, his teammate Sheriff though able to get it out. Good backspin for Jeremy Gross. Gross sends one out in front, blocked away by Gryton. As the clock ticks down here in the third period, 𝗏𝗏 will just send this one all the way down, and we're headed to a shootout between Holon and Haifa. We'll be right back for the sudden death shootout right here on the Israel National Hockey Society YouTube channel. Welcome back to One Ice Arena as we're just about set to get this shootout going. It's going to be the Holon Vipers shooting first, and it's Daniel 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗀. Picks up speed in his own end, and he picks the puck up at center ice. Here comes the 15-year-old Daniel 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗀. Multiple fakes, and he can't get around 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀😅.
You know, I am at least glad for the shootout for one reason. We finally get to really see what both these goalies are made of. We've been seeing Holon's goalie take a lot of shots, while Haifa's really only started picking up the speed at the very end of the game, in the third period. So it's got to be very nice to see.
𝗭𝗏𝗍 will shoot next for the Haifa Mariners. Haifa 0-1 in shootouts this season. Here's 𝗧𝗏 with some good speed. Stopped by Goldberg.
Again, so this is just going to be a classic example of Haifa's lack of finishing power coming to bite them in the butt. We have people like Blake Stinchfield, who can put it in. 𝗬𝗏field put a disgusting goal in on us where he walked through all our D and 5-holed it. Haifa doesn't have that.
Blake didn't touch the puck. He'll get another chance. Here he comes in on 𝗬𝗏. He scores!
In a show of second times the charm, Blake picks it up and eventually gets it in. It took him a second, but he got there.
You don't need a full roster in the shootout. Just one player who could rip it home, and Chris Blake did just that. Gives his team an important advantage. Here is 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃 for Haifa. 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃 straight in. Makes it, and he scores! What a move by Daniel 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃.
What a rip. Nothing complex, no massive stick handles. That was just a simple fake out, put it right in. Nothing fancy there, folks. Sometimes it's just the fundamentals that count.
Now it's 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆 shooting for Holon. Crowd is gathered here at One Ice Arena to watch this exciting shootout. 𝗂𝗄𝗆 swoops in. Zigzagging into the zone. 𝗂𝗄𝗆 shot it wide.
He tried to get a little too fancy with it, and by the time he wanted to put his puck in, the goalie was just right there. There's nothing he can do. He played himself, for lack of a better word.
And now Haifa with a chance to win it. They're going to send out Nathaniel Schwartz. Here he comes straight in on goal with a lot of speed. Schwartz, stopped by 𝗂𝗄𝗆.
Nothing but pad there, I gotta say. This time, I wanted to call it, give him the nickname, but this one does not make him worthy of being called a Kent State killer.
So after three rounds, we're playing sudden death. So the next goal wins. Here's Sawyer 𝗬𝗏field. In on goal. Couldn't pick the puck up after that nice deke.
Lost in his own sauce. He tripped up. This is, again, why you don't want to get too fun with it, because you're just going to mess up. Chris Blake, he couldn't even take it off the starting dot without messing it up once. Keep it simple.
Now the leading goal scorer for the Haifa Mariners, it's Jeremy Gross. Gross straight in. He scores! Jeremy Gross sends Haifa to Shabbos. They take this one 2-1.
They wanted it, they came to play, and they got it. There is hope for the Haifa Mariners to make the playoffs. All that needs to happen, they just need to win the 2 more games, the rest of their games. They're coming for 𝗵𝗆. They're coming for everybody, especially 𝗵𝗆 in the standings. But they're gonna do it, I believe. Go Mariners.
The win today puts them up to 7 points and only 2 points back of 𝗵𝗆. It's a crucial win for the Mariners. Holon able to hold on to their spot in second, but an exciting game nonetheless. Here from One Ice Arena. For Noah Saunders, my name is Ben Baruch saying good afternoon and Shabbat Shalom on this Friday afternoon from Israel. We'll see you on Sunday for the final week of the IEHL regular season.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Tonight's IEHL broadcast is brought to you by Ponke FPV Drone Video, Pro Edge's Skate Sharpening, Hockey Central shop in Krefeld, Germany. Transport Regent, Canada's finest moving company for over 20 years. And 𝗨𝗂𝗃𝗵 photography store in Tel Aviv.